So if every time you make a drawing and you think you want to color it, but these colors boggle your mind and you get scared about picking a color scheme, I mean, what even is that? You see all these colors laid out, all those blues, all those oranges, and you get a migraine. Some of them even look the same. People talk about complementary colors. What is that even? What is not? And you like to tell people that, oh, I just like the sketch the way it is. No, it's just that you don't know how to color, and that's why you have so many uncolored drawings in your sketchbook. But don't worry, I've been there too, and in this video I will be showing you 3 color combos that I love along with the basics of color theory. So the first color scheme is what I like to call rich and vibrant, and it is known that these colors like forest green and burgundy, which is basically black with red, always suggest kind of affluence and wealth, especially if it's mixed along with gold. So this is like my color palette, all these colors, and I will mix them to get what I just talked about. So I will also tell you what complementary colors mean, because these two are kind of complementary colors. You even see them in nature quite a lot. You might not notice it, but these were some cherries that I got, and this color scheme was even observed in that. So basically I named this rich and vibrant because you get this rich kind of mood that suggests wealthiness and affluence, especially when you mix a particular hue that is one color so it's something that's black, so make it dark. As you can see, I did that with the hair. So basically I took orange and then I made it the highlight, and the rest of the hair is brown. So even though I didn't mix the orange with the black, it's a brown is kind of like a darker version of orange. So that is the color scheme working there. And now if you don't know what complementary colors are, I'm gonna explain it to you. So basically in the color wheel, 2 colors that are exactly opposite to each other on the color wheel are known as complementary colors. Common examples are like orange and blue, yellow green, and red violet, but that's what I'm using here. Even yellow and violet, etc. So that's what I'm using here. So now complementary colors on the color wheel, this is an extra tip for applying them to get a better coloring. So they are exist in their full saturation or in their full vibrance. So if you want your coloring to look a little bit more interesting like I did here, I didn't use that yellow green exactly as purely as yellow green. I kind of made it a little more muted, a bit more desaturated than the burgundy or the red violet to kind of make this interesting dynamics, because complementary colors are colors that are popping off the page, super energetic and vibrant, because they're directly opposite to each other and they're literally the opposite of each other. So they can kind of be competing for that, attention when you put them both next to each other in their full saturation. But when you desaturate one of them, that is like giving one a sort of prominence over the other. So basically your eyes won't have to choose which one you have to look at. The red violet or the burgundy is obviously more vibrant, so that will be popping off more, and the green is a bit more desaturated, so there's kind of that balance and there isn't a bit of that chaotic fighting for attention going on there.
So as you saw, that's how I darkened the green, and this is how I mixed the colors with the markers. So that is the final color palette, and this is how the result looks like. I love it. I even added a bit of gold accents for a little bit of shininess, and I just love how it turned out. It turned out beautifully, exactly like how I wanted it. So yeah, that is the rich and vibrant color palette for you. On to the next.
So the second color combo that I want to share with you is called Pastel Romance. Now this might be kind of easy for you to guess what it might be. You put 2 and 2 together. Pastels and then romance, you might think of colors like pink and purple. Well, you kind of got it right, because for this drawing I'm using pastel pinks and purples because, well, that's all I have. But if I had like a different pastel color set, I would definitely go for a bit of orange and maybe even some warm pastel greens. So basically this color palette kind of is like the sunset, but like much more paler and giving you a very kind of calming but energetic and warm effect. So this color combo, in other words, is warm pastels. Now you might be thinking, what are warm colors and cool colors? So some people might be like, yeah, I know what it is, everyone talks about it. Warm colors are like all the red oranges and cool colors are like all the blues and greens. Well, you're kind of wrong, because a blue can be a warm blue and a red can be a cool red, you might have never thought of that. Well, I'm gonna explain it to you. Well, warm colors tend to look a bit more orangey, but not literally orange. They're more like maybe muted sometimes or slightly desaturated, and maybe not as vibrant as you think they would be. So for example, this pink that I used in this drawing is kind of a warm pink because it's not kind of jumping out at you, it's not super vibrant, and it has sort of this warmth to it. Have you ever thought of this filter in your iPhone where like you can press on something called warmth and then kind of makes your picture look kind of cozy and orangey? Well, that's what warm colors are. So a muted olive green is a warm green. Who told you green can only be a cool color? It can be a warm color too. Now this is a color wheel of how all the colors would look if they were all warm. Now what cool colors are they're so much vibrant, they're kind of fully saturated, and they kind of give you a refreshed feeling, kind of like a lemon yellow or a lemon green if you want to call it that way. And the color wheel of cool colors would kind of look like this. They're vibrant, they really jump at you, you can feel their energy, and they don't look that muted or like even orangey. They are in their full vibrance, and they're like, well, kind of cool. So I hope you understood the difference between cool and warm colors. So this second color combo can also be thought of as a monochromatic palette, since I just used a lot of pinks. But basically, you might be thinking it's a bunch of grays and blacks. Yeah, I know what it is, plus whites. No, that is an achromatic palette. That means literally no color. A monochromatic palette means you take one singular color in its full saturation and you use its darker values and its lighter values. Basically, you add black or white to that. Now, I haven't really done a monochromatic painting here, but that's what it is if you wanted to know. And soon you'll be looking at the final result of this color combo. I hope you guys like it.
So before we get to the final result, if you were thinking what values meant, this is a value chart. Like you have the darker values that is mixed with black and the lighter values that is mixed with white. So this is the final result. I love how this turned out to be like a little princess in pink. It's like so Barbie-core and I love it. I haven't drawn something like this in a long time, and I even love the pose. I kind of messed up the hands. Maybe shouldn't have put on that nail polish, but
Now the third color palette is what I call young and fun. So as the name suggests, these colors will be vibrant and they will look fun and they will make something kind of look young, and they'll be like popping off the page, drawing your attention towards it. So this is the color palette that I chose. Now this doesn't exactly exist in a color scheme, but it's something that I customized from a triadic color scheme. So a triadic color scheme is what you can see on the side right there. They are comprised of 3 colors evenly spaced on a color wheel, and they form a triangle if you were to join them. So this is the color scheme, the triadic color scheme that I customized. So basically, instead of the red violet, I took this pink, this dark purple, and this purple. So that's what I'm showing you the markers right now.
so these 3 markers alone are the triadic color scheme, but instead of that little old red or red violet, I chose these 3 extra colors, that is aubergine, lavender, and cherry pink.
And now I'm going to start coloring in this sketch with a color called Morin. And now so far, I hope you understood whatever I've said. And another thing I want you to keep in mind, this is like the main point. I know that these color schemes exist and I'm pretty sure you must have understood them, but now it's kind of different in understanding them when it comes to application. So now you know what these color schemes are. The thing I want you to remember is that you don't need to use these colors in their full saturation or in their full vibrance like exactly the same way you get them from the color wheel. Now, saturation means a color being in its full vibrance without anything being mixed to it, like it's in its purest hue. So basically, you can choose these color schemes and take one color and make those into 3 different colors like I did here with this color scheme. Or you could just swap out one orange with another kind of orange, or like maybe add a complementary color to one of the colors. You can play around with the combos and make sure you get a color scheme that seems fun to you, that seems alright to the mood that you're going for, and that just looks pleasing to the eye. So you don't have to like rigidly follow like, oh my god, complementary, I'm only going to use these 2 colors in their full saturation. You don't need to do that. You can follow the step I said earlier about the complementary color schemes and how to maybe kind of up your game a little bit. And that same rule applies to any lighting or shadows or any final effects you're adding with your color pencils or any other medium. Basically, as long as you're not covering a huge visible space where the color that you're applying is like standing out and clearly visible, You can kind of play around with the colors. You do not need to strictly follow the color scheme. You can add a bit of orange, maybe some purple for a shadow. I don't know. You can choose a different shade of the color that you had chosen and add your final effects and stuff. For example, in this drawing, I took a different shade of purple from one of my color pencils and went over the pants so that I can like kind of create a sort of denim kind of texture just for fun. But you won't even notice that it's not like visible. So unless you're doing like a background or something in one color, you need not worry like overly about the color. And now the final thing is to trust in the process again, because you simply have to trust in the process. You cannot like expect to like see a bunch of videos or even this one and expect to like be a master artist already. Like maybe you'll have a new revelation, maybe make a drawing today that you're actually proud of and you'll be like, maybe I can actually color things. But it's not compulsory that you will always make a masterpiece, right? So practice is key, and of course with practice you have to enjoy that. Draw something you like, draw fan art, draw a Disney character, give them some lighting, draw something for guilty pleasure. And yeah, so with that, this video is kind of complete, and now this is the final reveal. I'm adding the highlights. I'm kind of just having fun. Like I said, I'm adding some glitter and stuff with the glitter pens that I have, because make things a little more fun. Oh, and another little tip is that to complete your spread or your drawing, feel free to take one of those light colors or that you have in your color palette and kind of do this outline on one side of the drawing. Even though this is such a simple thing to do, it kind of just adds this extra pop to your drawing. And sometimes if you even like make it glow or like apply the lighting in the correct way, it can like change the atmosphere of that spread quite a lot. And also don't forget to add your little color swatches on top of your sketchbook spread. It's another little thing that makes the whole spread kind of aesthetic. And with that said, this is the final reveal of this sketchbook spread, and I hope you guys understood what I was saying all along, and I hope you gained some insight on color wheel and color schemes, and I hope you like these drawings. And also make sure to comment down below which one of these drawings are your favorite, or which one is your favorite color combo. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're interested in seeing more art videos like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you know when I post next. And if you want to see more tutorials or videos where I share with you little hacks, ideas, or tips, make sure to click on this playlist. And until next time, bye!